Unlike Good Girls, this crew of female criminals will not make you laugh, while your credit card info could be at risk.
He escaped from police and then came to Metro Atlanta and robbed more than a dozen stores. And get this, police say his girlfriend helped him.
911 calls are changing. Soon you could show your emergency on video. And a local county is the first in the nation to test this new technology out.
Atlanta is growing. Why rent prices are skyrocketing, almost outpacing San Francisco.
But first tonight, a killer is on the run after leaving a mom to deal with the unimaginable loss of her only child.
And then they just shot my baby. I heard a gunshot. When I turned around, my baby was bleeding.
Shonda Craig was driving down Eastland Road late last night when a gray Dodge Charger pulled up next to her. She says someone pulled out a gun and opened fire, a single shot. Scared, she drove a little farther before realizing a bullet had struck her son, Taraji. The little boy who had just turned 3 years old last week had been sleeping in the back seat. Well, tonight, family and friends held a vigil for the little boy near the spot where he was killed. DeKalb police say they do not think the shooting was targeted. They're still trying to figure out if it was targeted or if it was a random tragedy. We're going to stay on top of this story and bring you the very latest information as we get it on 11alive.com. All right, 10 weeks of terror now over for Metro Atlanta families. Police say an escaped inmate is back behind bars after pulling a gun on people who were just shopping, eating, or just doing their jobs in local stores. He's now behind bars in DeKalb County, where 11 Alive's Faith Abube is right now. And Faith, you spoke with a couple of his victims.
Yeah, Ron, and they tell me when they came face to face with Delvin Moore, they thought they were going to die. But a series of events set off by a police officer who was off duty at the time finally led to his capture. Delvin Moore walking back into jail where he was supposed to be in the first place. But since January, DeKalb County police say the escaped inmate from Mississippi was on a dangerous crime spree across Metro Atlanta.
He was a thorn in our side, no family or anything like that, so no real reason why he would come to Atlanta.
But in the short span he was here as a fugitive, he targeted 14 local businesses. One of them, a Rainbow store on Moreland Avenue. A store manager told us over the phone Moore pretended to be a customer buying a wallet.
Once I told him the price, he handed me a $5 bill. I took the $5 from him. When I looked down to open the register to give him change, he came to my side and pulled the gun out to my hip and told me to give him the money. And I'm just like, oh my God, and I'm just like shaking. I thought that was the end for me because the main issue that I had was that he didn't have a mask on.
DeKalb police say Moore's method was similar for all the robberies, even threatening to kill his victims. But then last week, an off-duty police officer spotted him and his girlfriend walking into a public store.
A brief scuffle took place. The female that was with the suspect slightly intervened and allowed the suspect to get away.
But the two didn't get far. The couple now sitting in jail, facing several charges.
So I feel much better because I can rest now, and I feel better not having to watch the door every time somebody comes in.
So, Faith, at this point, do we know why Moore was in jail in the first place?
And Ron, that's another interesting part of the story. We're told he was in jail waiting for trial on armed robbery charges, but somehow he was able to stuff toilet paper in the lock of his cell door to keep it from latching, and that's how he was able to get away.
A bizarre situation there. Faith Abube, thank you.
All right, time for your speed feed. I am Natisha Lance. It began with gunshots in South Fulton and ended in Florida with a suspect dead. Police say Timothy Wyatt shot and killed his girlfriend here in Metro Atlanta on Easter Sunday morning. He allegedly shot her 2 sons as well, who survived. Wyatt was tracked to Tampa, and that is where he was involved in a police chase and 2 different shootouts before he was eventually shot and killed by police officers. Well, a terrible story in California is getting even worse. Police now say a deadly SUV crash may have been intentional. The wreck killed 5 family members. 3 others are missing. The California Highway Patrol says the SUV stopped at a pull-off area, then sped up and went straight off a cliff. Days later, social services opened an investigation into the family, looking into complaints that the children were deprived of food. Hundreds of thousands of Piedmont Health patients here in Georgia are worried about their future health care. Piedmont and Blue Cross Blue Shield failed to make a deal before their contract expired. There is a couple of sticking points here. The big one seems to be how much money Piedmont doctors should get from Blue Cross Blue Shield. Piedmont Health says the money offered doesn't keep up with the cost of living. No comment yet from the insurance giant, but we can confirm negotiations are ongoing. Now take a look at this crazy video from Ackworth. This was shared with us by Liv Fowler, and you can see it coming as a train slams into a tractor trailer that's stuck on the tracks. And you can really see the damage in this video from our chopper. The crash happened near School and Main Streets. It was tying up traffic for a few hours earlier. And luckily, Ron, believe it or not, looking at that video, nobody was seriously hurt.
That is amazing.
I know.
That the driver wasn't hurt or even killed. All right, Natisha,
Incredible.
Thanks a lot.
You bet.
911 calls are changing, and a local county is the first in the nation to try out this new technology that would allow you to make a 911 video call in an emergency. It's a story you first saw on 11 Alive. Christy Etheridge has a demonstration for us today. Christy?
I sure did. I got to see how it looked up close and personal, and it's not just the first in the U.S. Fayette County is the first in all of North America to test out this new system, and it all starts with a little black and white app called Carbine. Here's how it works. When someone makes a phone call, what do you see?
This is the app that's called Carbine. And as you can see, as soon as I opened it, it's already recording. When the call will come into the 911 center, immediately the call taker will get the audio and the video of the caller's phone.
Employee Kyle made the test call for us from outside the 911 center.
It's also going to give you the exact location. He's outside the 911 center currently, and it shows him right at Volunteer Way. And as you can see, this dot right here from when he was inside earlier went from the back of the building now to the front of the building. So it's showing him within 3 meters of where he is standing.
County 911. A typical 911 call uses cell phone triangulation, which is only about 67% reliable. It's why Uber can find you, but 911 can't. This new technology uses radio frequency to find location. It can even tell your elevation.
So if somebody's on a second floor, third floor, in between on a stairwell, we're going to be able to tell exactly where that individual is.
What about privacy? I know people are going to ask, is this just another thing that can get hacked?
The only time your phone is being accessed by us is during the duration of the call. So prior to the call, no, and when the call is disconnected, that is it.
If you're in a situation where you can't speak, you'll be able to send messages to the dispatcher.
The call taker will take that information and type back.
And all the while, it's still recording video.
And it's still recording the whole time.
It'll also rule out liars.
It will. It's going to be able to give our responders the ability to see the scene before they even get on scene. It's going to change the way we do business in 911 and in public safety.
A couple other things to know about this. This is not like a FaceTime call. The dispatcher can only see you. You cannot see them back. This video will become open records like any 911 call is now. And also, once the call is disconnected, they'll be able to send it to firefighters, police, and EMS to help them prepare for whatever the emergency is. Really important, though, maybe the most important, it's not live yet. The county just got the funding, so it won't be up and running until late summer or early fall.
But that is amazing technology. That's going to be able to help those police officers out there when they're trying to zero in on a suspect.
It's a game changer.
All right, thanks a lot, Christy. By the way, tech innovation like we're seeing right there in Peachtree City is a step in the right direction, but failures in the 911 system is a problem nationwide. 11 Alive investigators first reported on this public health crisis more than 3 years ago. It discovered that 911 calls routinely go to the wrong 911 center, and the result can be catastrophic.
I'm losing air very quickly. What lane? Airway? Off of Beachville. 30188.
Well, that desperate 911 call came from Chanel Anderson after she drove her car in a lake. It took 20 minutes for rescuers to actually locate her, but by the time they got there, it was too late. Chanel's story is part of an 11 Alive investigative series, Lost on the Line, that exposes this public health crisis. And you can watch the full Lost on the Line series on 11alive.com.
He's an Atlanta icon, both on the diamond and in the fight for civil rights. Our one-on-one interview with the legendary Hammering Hank Aaron.
Apartments and condos everywhere, but who in Atlanta can afford them? Why our rent is on the rise. Today was the warmest day we have had in almost 6 months. Well, we're talking about when that cool air will make a return and when we could expect some strong to severe storms.
Hey guys, Tracy Morgan is here. We're doing something fun. Plus, we have Kate Mara, music from Chris Lane, featuring Tori Kelly. Stay